Have you heard that you can only chop and drop at the end of the season or when there's more moisture in the air and in precipitation than there is in evaporation? Well, that's not exactly true because in all my systems, I've found that partnering with the native indigenous microbiology and weeds that I've been able to generate a lot more out of the system, getting free mulch, chopping and dropping every day, and overall participating more with the cycles of the local bioregion. So what do I mean by that? Well, every time we chop and drop these weeds, we are chopping and dropping the accumulation of nutrients and minerals that this weed for this soil has been tasked to do. So these weeds, they are now going to feed the soil. We can even put them to the side and let them break down, depending on what stage they're at, what kind of weed. But they're gonna just give us free mulch. And so all we have to do is just walk around and gather everything. They're gonna give us free soil building material. And not only that, if you've got a mulch crop and you're just chopping the leaves and letting it regrow and resprout during the growing season, that's really ideal. And there's certain plants that can handle that, like comfrey, and I'll show that in a minute. But come in close and see what I'm doing. Cut right down to the base. It'll regrow from there. So here we are at the comfrey. The comfrey is really awesome because we can just chop and drop. So what does that look like? Well, you could just be coming in here and taking things off and then having them just lay down right here in between seedlings. So it doesn't need to be super pretty, but this is gonna feed and protect the soil between our seedlings. Everything's nice and happy. And I've actually done that already over here. So you can see that these are the old leaves and they're breaking down really nicely, and they've continued to protect the soil, and these have also regrown. You can see where they were cut. They've just resprouted and continue to resprout. So let's do it. Let's do some more. So. And I'm grabbing any other weeds in the area and adding them to the mix. So it's like a little mulch, composty little heap right here. Just add any kind of spare leaves and anything denser that'll kind of hold things down too. Don't want things blowing away, that's for sure. Back here we have a tomato plant, so I really want to make sure that we're constantly feeding the soil and covering it up, keeping the moisture just right. Got some tomatoes starting here, some flowers up here. We're gonna keep feeding it, keep protecting it here as it grows amidst the beans and among the comfrey. So I hope that made sense, that using a rice knife, just a simple rice knife, going through your garden, chopping and dropping the weeds and the mulch crops to keep the system going, to keep feeding that soil, to keep covering it. These are best practices for chop and drop, but they're different from the entire system seasonal chop and drop, where you're chopping everything to the ground and essentially creating a sheet mulch. That's mostly what people are talking about when they're talking about chopping and dropping once a season or once a year. So I hope that this helped you with my crazy hair. I hope that this helped you and let you know what you can do on your site so it'll freeze you up to make better decisions. I'm Matt Powers. Grow abundantly, learn daily, and live regeneratively. You can get out there and chop and drop some weeds.